Johnnie's Bite on Sunrise. Johnnie's Bite. Johnnie's Bite on Sunrise.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And ye, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Monday, the 6th of November. Welcome to Johnnie's Bite. I trust that your weekend was good. Well, mine was excellent as well. And we put to rest one of my chief service and cadet and brigade trainers, Lord Augustus Niboy Ashong. May he rest in peace. Over the weekend as well, we had Shabak. And this morning, I've come to you with some success stories before we get into the MPP's primaries, etc. You know, sometime last week, we spoke about the fact that we showed you some decks that had been abandoned at the Kaneshi Bishop 1 and 2, Kaneshi Anglican JSS, my alma mater, and the St. Joseph Primary. I showed you how they had been left there at the mercy of the weather, the rain, the sun, the wind, the everything else. It was left there like that. And I followed it consistently for 3 days, 3 solid days. Now I can confirm to you confidently that an official of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly reached out and told me that the distribution will happen on Friday. And Friday, the distribution did indeed happen, right? On Friday, the distribution of the chairs indeed happened. It was cleared on Friday. The distribution indeed happening. And you can see how jubilative the children are. They are happy about the fact that the decks had been circulated and distributed, if you will, to the various schools within the locality. That's the Okaikwe sub-metro. Within the various communities, the chairs had been distributed to the schools around there who needed the chairs. This is impactful journalism. If this is not impactful journalism, what else is impactful journalism? So this is it. We spoke about the problem. We followed it. So the shotgun theory. We talk about the shotgun. We followed it until we saw the bullet being discharged. And here we are. We have shown you where the shot was taken and how it was taken and why it was taken and who took the shot and when it was taken. This is impactful journalism. From chairs that were left at the mercy of the weather to chairs that have now been distributed. And you can see the evidence. They are moving the chairs to the people who actually need the chairs, so the children don't have to sit on the floor, lie on the floor, or stand and write or sit on cement blocks. There's another one that I showed you, that we spend too much money in this country, say that we are planting trees, even though we know that those who plant the trees are the very people who do galamsey. Yes, I said it. And I didn't say it. I'm repeating what Otumfo Osetutu, His Royal Majesty, said. Show them that this is happening. It happened. I saw this. And not just me. Marty saw it and Danny saw it. We saw it. In fact, they drew my attention to it that this is happening. That the seedlings had been left there. And 62 says these were dead seedlings. Oliver agrees that they are dead seedlings as well. Even though I didn't caption it dead seedlings. But they both agree that they are dead seedlings. Guess what? Since we spoke about this one too, and this one is near GBC, right in front of the Lutheran school around there, right in front of the Kanda Estate cluster of schools, right there, out of the city. Since we spoke about it, they have also started planting. This is, again, impactful journalism. We know they just talk. They say, oh, he just comes to stand here to scream. He doesn't have any results to show for it. He just likes to scream. He just likes to talk, blah, 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 blah. This is impactful journalism. Those who are posted to the finance ministry, agric ministry, health ministry, education ministry, whatever street, presidency, whatever it is. Small results. we will be fine. But this morning, you are going to work, you are going to sit behind a laptop machine, and you will be insulting everybody on social media, hoping that by the 30th of November, you will have your monthly salary of 15,000 or 18,000. You'll be insulting everybody. Show them the children planting the trees, please. The children who are now planting, they are planting what was formerly abandoned, and we spoke about it. They are now planting what we put out there. So this was procured with state funds, right? It was left out there for it to rot. Now the children are planting it. So it means that we are also part of the problem. It's not just the politician. Those of us who are technocrats, those of us who are civil servants, those of us who are also part of the building of the nation are also part of the problem. They are planting it. Would they have planted it if I had not spoken about it? Now they are planting it. They're planting them. So when you make Johnnie Hughes your target and you want to insult me, I've just told you 2 success stories in 1 week. Impactful journalism. This is it. But this one, me, I will not file to go and collect any award for it. So there are people who are the presidents who say, oh, he hasn't won any award before. I don't care. The children there, they will remember me forever for this. Their parents will remember me forever for this. The headmasters and headmistresses who felt the heat and went out to instruct them to come and plant, they will remember me for this. For those who are out there who didn't have desks, who now have desks, they will remember me for it. So I actually don't need a small glass to prove any point. The real deal is these people who have been taught that when state resources are spent to procure things, you actually do not waste them. And that you have to put them to good use because it is not aban ejuma, it is yenina yejuma. That is impactful journalism. And I'm grateful to my lecturers at Ghana Institute of Journalism for teaching me to understand how journalism actually should be practiced. For the voiceless, if there's public opinion, you broadcast it. If there's no public opinion, you shape it. If there's public opinion but it's scattered, you actually bring it to the center. It has to be impactful. It has to be good. And this is it. I've showed you 2 results. 2. Now, you know, the government has been publishing government this week. In the past week, did government publish anything government this week? So we are showing scorecard. In the past week, did government publish anything that government this week? Did they publish anything? This is my scorecard. And this is what I always talk about. I speak about A gets fixed. I speak about B gets fixed. I speak about C gets fixed. And then you don't have any solution, but you only come to attack. I bet who be you? Shift. Make me breathe. Take me to the National Theatre, please. And I've been talking about the National Theatre that it is a gift. It was a gift. It still remains a gift from the Chinese government to us more than 30 years ago. We're supposed to manage the National Theatre to make profit and to also improve our arts, culture, tourism, and tradition. I showed you these chairs at the National Theatre. Show me the chair in front of the accountant's office. It's a sofa. Abuatum, the National Theatre. There's a board chairman at the National Theatre. There are board members at the National Theatre. And one of the people at the National Theatre reached out to me and said, oh, it is not the problem of the board because the board has made suggestions. And this is where I will bring Dr. Awal, Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, into the equation. I will draw him into it. Because he is the sector minister for the area. We know what work Dr. Awal has done with graphic and with the Finder newspaper. Put the picture up there for me. That is the sofa. I remember when I was a kid and I used to go to the National Theatre. One day I'll show you my certificate for Kinderfest and Fun World. National Theatre. I'll show you one day. I've been looking for it. I can't find it. Certificate is not a baby until you can't find it. But this chair, I remember these sofas. Look at it. So somebody comes, they want to go and pay money to the accountant. They sit here and wait in this one. It's at the National Theatre. I showed you the VIP area, what it looked like last week. There are people who go to work at National Theatre and go and collect their salaries. The question I want to ask is, when was the last time the CEO or MD of National Theatre even held a staff deba, common staff deba? Common staff deba at National Theatre. When was the last time? A member of the board told me that they have been making suggestions, they have put together proposals. They have actually done what they know. They want people to come and support the National Theatre. When you go, they tell you it's a government institution. You have to go through bureaucracy and all that crap, minimcracy, jackcracy, homaswocracy, ahantancracy, inyegboningcracy, inyeeshueshicracy, all the crazy. By the time they finish, this is what we have. And the National Theatre is smelling. And they charge money for it. And on top of that, they have given the air-conditioned contract to a private person. So the National Theatre doesn't feel obliged to fix its own air condition because they are getting cuts from somebody. National Theatre of Ghana. If you're a theatre person, you will feel the pain of the National Theatre. So the question is that, is it a question of an incompetent person who has been put in charge of the National Theatre, or is it the board frustrating the incompetent person that has been put there, or competent person that has been put there, or is it a question of the competent person frustrating an incompetent board, or is it a question of the minister not pay attention to the National Theatre, or what? What exactly is the problem of National Theatre? And somebody who regularly uses the National Theatre told me that sometimes they have their own productions and the whole National Theatre that is supposed to take about 1,500, 1,800 people. Sometimes they have 20, 40, 50 people. A few white people come in a bus and they come and sit there at the National Theatre and they are watching in an air-conditioned hall. They are watching 20, 30, 40, 50 people. How? How did we sink so low? Show me the chair again from the accountant's office, in front of the accountant's office. I have showed you chairs from the lobby. I have showed you how inside the main auditorium VIP section, a metal chair has been put into the original chair. Now show me. This is National Theatre. Tomorrow I'll show you another thing from National Theatre. Let's move away. Talk about Dr. Bawumia. I want to first of all congratulate the MPP that nobody decided to hurt each other because they were voting for a presidential candidate for the New Patriotic Party. I want to congratulate them. And I also want to congratulate Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for winning to become the flag bearer of the NPP. Now, the conversation that I had over the weekend was how much or by what margins Dr. Bawumia won, and by what margins John Mahama won in the primaries in the NDC, and people have been making analysis of it. I don't know if that translates into, a victory in the 2024 general elections that involved the larger society. That's not just either NDC delegates or MPP delegates. I don't know. But some have said that if you get 61%, like Professor Kobe Mensah says, if you get 61%, it is actually a combo of Akufo-Addo's effort and Bawumia's effort, every government machinery being whipped into line, and then that means that what contribution did Dr. Bawumia have in the 61%? That conversation can be had. If you flip it to John Mohammed's side, was everybody else whipped into line? I don't know. But that conversation can also be had. But was it Mr. Kennedy Japan who now says that he will support Dr. Bawumia, who told us that whether we like it or not, Dr. Bawumia can never beat John Mahama as a presidential candidate? Was it Kennedy Japan who was forced to sign that MOU? Was it the same person? Was it the same man who said he was going to give everybody a showdown? And I heard Dr. Bawumia say that, I will not disappoint you. And I said, Joe, but within the last 7 years, what do you think you have been doing? I will not disappoint you. Within the last 7 years, what do you think you have been doing, Bosu? You have been disappointing us. Go back to Central University, listen to your own lectures. Go back to National Theatre, listen to your own lectures. Come back to us. Go back to the studios where you spoke. Listen to us on the economy, on the exchange rate, on whatever it is, and come back to us, come and tell us if you have not disappointed us already. In fact, when the president failed to meet journalists, the last time President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, fighter for the media, fighter for the media, human rights activist, whatever it is, the last time he met the media was in 2019. 2020 has come and gone. They'll say COVID, Russia, Ukraine. 2021 has come and gone. 2022 has come and gone. 2023 is almost ended. The president has not met us 4 years on. Then the last time I saw that school children in Kolankola had been put in front of the president, obviously pre-produced and told to ask certain questions, because we have all been part of those productions before, Kwasa Sayo and all those ones. They pre-produce us. Then they put you there and they say, oh, Mr. President, why did you choose Dr. Baumia as your vice president? And then he says, oh, I needed to use his brain to govern. So, Mr. Vice President, when you say you are your own man, we have actually experienced your brain, because your boss says he used your brain to govern. And how have you ruled? How have you governed? We have seen the quality that you are bringing to the table. Or has anything changed? Why are you suddenly now trying to detach yourself from the team of which you were a central participant? Why? Because the president said they brought you in to use your brain to govern. So why are you detaching yourself? You must tell us. Why are you now preaching change of a team or aside the team that you were part of? You must tell us. Because all of the conversation that we had before you got into power was about the economy, was about fuel, was about job creation, was about transforming Ghana in 18 months, was about all those things. Now you have won and you are telling us that when you come, so you are the mate and there's a driver, right? We get on the bus, we say we are going to Kaswa. Then the driver starts the engine, he's taking us to Gamami. And then you don't tell the driver that you are going in the wrong direction, but you only tell the driver to alight you so that you can redirect us to go where we have to go. Boss, you cannot be serious. Oh. You are in the bus. You are the trotro mate. You have not even finished the job that we gave you, but you are anticipating to break the 8. You have 13 months. 13 months. There's a lot of work that you have to do, Mr. Vice President. Now, Mr. Flag Bearer. There's a lot of work that you have to do. A lot of work you have to do. There's a choral group that sang a beautiful song for you. Listen to them, Mr. Vice President. And I know you know, Mr. Vice President, that near Omana Beduno Aye, where we have gotten to is dangerous. The admission is only made to say that, oh, where we find ourselves. Who brought us here? You say, oh, you will not disappoint us. Who brought us here? You say, oh, I've come to save Ghana. Who brought us here? Remember, Mr. Vice President, you were part of the team that brought us the Ajinkwa budget. And I asked you in 2022, or 2021, I asked you, Ajinkwa, who are you saving us from? Because you brought us a Juma budget. You brought us a Honto budget. You brought us Impuntuo budget. You brought us Ajinkwa. But then I asked the question, who are you Jane Ajinkwa from? I asked the question, who are you saving us from? Because you promised that you were going to give us change. So who are you now saving us from? Are you casting a vote of no confidence on the man who brought you into politics and actually sidestepped every rule to make sure that you came to lead and you became number 2 and now you are number 1? That's a vote of no confidence if you ask me. Tomorrow we'll continue. Call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
You.
Good morning, my brother.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Talk
and
to me.
congratulations to for